Welcome to Penny Lane Emporium. My name is Armando Zuppa and I am one of the guitar teachers here. Today I'm going to talk about the F chord in particular, but that can be applied to many bar chords. Bar chords suck. They're difficult and they sound awful. And for one reason, because when you play a bar chord, the moment you finish playing and the moment you move your hand to go to the next chord, the sound stops. This is an F chord, bar chord. The moment I'm trying to go to a G, the sound stops. So in general, they're not great chords to play. There are many guitar players, including Tony Rice, who this is a Santa Cruz guitar, a Tony Rice model. He's definitely one of my favorite guitar players. And probably Tony Rice has never played a bar chord in his entire life, and he's one of the best guitar players ever. So for all of you out there who's struggling with the F chord, you do not need to learn how to play a bar chord in the shape of F, like this one over here. If you can play it, good for you. But if you can't play, there's no reason to struggle with an F chord that's never going to sound good. Here's a few alternatives to the F chord that you can play. For example, instead of playing the whole bar, and you're focusing here. Okay, instead of playing like the whole bar like this, first of all, keep in mind your pressure points whenever you play a bar chord are only the ones that are not fretted by the strings in front of it. So really, you don't have to like flat that finger like crazy on the guitar and push as hard as you can. Your pressure points on the F chord are only going to be right here, because that's the top string, and at the bottom would be like the bottom two strings, and the rest of it can be pretty loose. So your finger is not quite straight. It will have to be a little bit arched, and then you can play a bar chord like this, like an F. Now the alternative to that F chord is to play a simpler version of the F chord, where you're fretting two strings with the index finger. Now you flatten that index finger there on those two strings, and then the rest of the fingers are the same as the F chord, but you have to be careful not to play the top string, because that note is an E and it's not going to work well with the F. So when you strum, you just have to be more accurate and play it from the fifth string on, and it sounds just as good as the other F chord. Another alternative to F chord is to be even more accurate. Some people cannot do, fret those two strings with one finger and make it sound clear. After they can do it like this, but then as soon as they put the other fingers on, it ends up sounding like this. And that's fine, because you know what? You already have one F note in there in that chord, so it's going to be sounding like this. And it's going to sound pretty good, very acceptable. A lot of people do that. What happens is that index finger mutes the bottom string, and then you don't even play the top string, or you can even mute the top string with your thumb a little bit, like that. So at that point, you don't even need to be that accurate with the right hand. You can just strum and get a pretty good F chord there. There are alternatives that are even easier to the F chord. A lot of times there's tunes that are you're gonna go to an F chord from a G chord, for example. Now if you play a G chord like this using all four fingers, and then you want to go to the F chord, all you have to do really is move this three fingers like that and just play the bottom four strings. You just have to be careful doing that, and you get yourself an F chord. If you want to play all the way, you hear that note sticking out a little bit. That makes the F an F add 9, but it's perfectly acceptable, especially when you go fast movements. And so on. Another alternative is to play an F chord with just really two fingers, like that. So you're actually skipping this one over here. It's not quite a full F chord, but it's gonna work fine. again, it's an F add 9, but it sounds pretty cool. Okay. Another way to avoid playing bar chords, which again, I'll say that again, they don't sound good, is to transpose the tune that you're playing and playing different with a capo and playing a different key. So you don't want to play an F chord? Fine. Change the whole tune so that your F will look like a C and the capo on the 5th fret. There's your F chord right there. It's a natural F, but it's in the shape of a C chord. So that would be an F chord, and this one will be your G. So before I was doing back and forth between a G and an F, now it's going to look like going from a D to a C. Which is going to sound similar to So, do not despair when you are having a hard time playing the F chord. Trust me, there's alternatives. There's other ways to do it and make it sound pretty good. My name is Armando Zuppa, and I'm the owner and one of the guitar teachers here at Penny Lane Emporium, which is located in Fort Lauderdale. Our phone number is 954-566-8141, and you can also visit us on the web at www.pennylaneemporium.com.